Hey, it's Arie here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 tips for starting an internet business in 2020. So if you're looking to start your own internet business and you want to become your own boss, that's exactly what this video is going to be going over. So before I actually dive into things, if this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm always putting out new videos Monday through Friday that will show you how to do affiliate marketing, how to grow an online business, and how to create a passive income right online from home. So if you enjoy videos like that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and tick that bell icon so you can be notified whenever there is a brand new video on my channel. So without further ado, let's get right into things. So tip number 1 is you want to pick one business model and you want to stick with it long term. So I know that if you are completely brand new to this industry, this can be easier said than done, because most people, almost every single aspiring entrepreneur who gets online and are looking to build an online business, they run into this issue where they try one business model out. For example, like affiliate marketing, for example, right? And then they're building that up. They're not exactly getting the results that they wanted in within a few months, or within maybe even like a few weeks. And then all of a sudden they start hearing about all these other business models, these other ways of making money online. They start watching other videos, and then they decide, okay, now I'm going to try all these other things, right? So in my case, what happened to me exactly was, initially when I first got online around mid 2017, the very first business model that I of course got into was affiliate marketing. I really liked affiliate marketing a lot because I liked the simplicity of it. It sounded very appealing to me, and I decided that it was something that I really wanted to do. So the very first online business that I've ever started was this blog where I was writing these product reviews for Amazon, and I was of course linking to them on Amazon. And at the time, I was very excited because I thought that if I build this up long enough, if I put enough effort into this, eventually it will allow me to create like a full-time passive income online within like a year or two. But unfortunately, that just wasn't really the case. And as I was building that up, I came across all these other different trainings out there. I found one other program about affiliate marketing, then I joined that, and then I'm going through two different affiliate trainings at the same time, with the information kind of conflicting each other. And then I started hearing about drop shipping. Oh, drop shipping is a really great business model because you could just sell other people's products, but you don't have to have any inventory. So I started to get into that. And then I heard about e-commerce. I started hearing about Amazon FBA, and I heard about all these other business models that they all sound very appealing. But here's the thing that I really want to that I really just cannot stress in this video enough. Every single one of these business models, they all work, but you have to be willing to pick one and stick with it long term. If you cannot stick with something long term, then it's probably not worth getting into, because it requires you to learn actual skill sets in order to really get those results. And if you want to actually learn the right skills necessary, the best thing to do is stick with something long term and learn from people who are actually getting the results that you want. So what a lot of people are doing is they're just jumping from one thing to the next, hoping that they find that push button system where they could do the least amount of work possible but then get thousands in return. So you always have to remember that what you are willing to actually put into something, you will always get back. So if you're only willing to put in just a little bit of effort, you just try one thing for a little bit, and then you don't really stick with it long term, then you're not really going to get those long-term results in the long term. So the number one thing that I really cannot stress in this video is you have to pick one thing and you have to be willing to stick with it long term. So that's really the first thing that I want to go over. Second tip is you want to invest in quality mentorship. Notice how I said the word quality, right? There's a lot of training programs, which unfortunately most of them are complete and total garbage. There's a lot of $7 clickbank training programs that claim to make you thousands in return just by buying this done for you system or something like that. There's a whole bunch of videos you could watch about how to make free PayPal money, how to make $1,000 within a week or something, completely for free without investment. Just try out these little surveys or something like that. But the problem with that is because there's so much noise out there, because there's so much information. Oftentimes it's very hard to really know who exactly to listen to, what to focus on. So if you are constantly consuming, free and cheap information, then ultimately your mind is going to get overwhelmed and you're not really going to know exactly what to focus on. So I've seen plenty of videos about, how to make free PayPal money and all that type of stuff. And I've actually done a few of those kinds of videos on this channel before, but I don't really do them as much now because I kind of got kind of sick of making them. But the number one thing that I really just cannot stress enough is you got to be willing to invest in quality mentorship. The best way to really almost guarantee that you get the results that you're of course looking for is of course to learn from someone who has the results that you want. And it's much easier to get to that goal that you're going for if you have a step-by-step proven blueprint to follow. So if you're just consuming a bunch of free videos from a whole bunch of different people, then your mind's just going to get overwhelmed, because you're going to watch one video and one person's going to recommend, okay, here, review these products on YouTube and link them in your video descriptions. And someone else, you watch one other video and they're going to say, okay, don't do YouTube SEO. YouTube SEO is a complete waste of time. Here, do Instagram instead. Then you watch one other video. Oh, don't do affiliate marketing. That's a complete waste of time. What you should do instead is, do Shopify, do Amazon Kindle publishing. There's all these different things, but the very best thing that you could do is invest in quality mentorship that will show you how to really build up a profitable, stable business that you could of course have in the long term. So that's really tip number 2 that I just really cannot stress enough. And then tip number 3 is you always want to be focusing on providing value rather than trying to earn a commission online. So majority of people, they get into this for themselves. They don't really think about helping other people. They just want to buy into something and then immediately start making money very quickly. And what most people do when they get into like affiliate marketing, for example, is they join some sort of training program, they join this business opportunity, and then they get their affiliate link that they can of course promote. And then what they do is they go all over Facebook, they spam their link, they send a friend requests to a bunch of people that they've never spoken to before, and they just pitch their link into their inbox. I've gotten a lot of messages like that before myself. They go into groups, they spam their links, they buy a bunch of clicks, they send it straight to their affiliate link, hoping that someone will buy their product, instantly, just like that. But the problem is that people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. So if you aren't actually building up trust with people, if you aren't building up a connection with people that you're, of course, connecting with, then you can't really expect them to be interested in what you're promoting. So the number one thing that I really just cannot recommend enough is you always want to be leading with value. You want to be putting out value that will, of course, attract people to you. And one thing that I would actually recommend for this, a great way to, of course, go about this is focus on creating content that, of course, helps solve a problem. So, for example, if you're promoting something in like the make money online niche, or like the health and wellness niche, right? What you could do is you could start up a website, you could start up a YouTube channel, and you could put up content on a regular basis about how to get in a better shape, or how to you could talk about the keto diet or something like that, right? I'm not an expert in the health and wellness niche, but that's something that you could of course do. And then as you continue to put up lots of content, then you will eventually build up an audience of people that they watch your videos, or they read your blog posts, or whatever it is that you're putting out there. And then you could make recommendations in your video descriptions, or in your blog posts about any resources that your audience could of course check out. So for example, if you're doing YouTube videos, which I think YouTube's a very great way of building up a connection, you could then link to any product or program that you of course want to recommend in your video description. So people who they search up something very specific, like how to get into better shape, right? They watch a video about that goes over how to get in better shape, and then in your video description you could have a link in your description about how someone like a training someone can go through to get six-pack abs, or to eat better, that type of stuff. So that is, I'd say, the way that you want to go when it comes to building up trust with people. And the more that you're willing to do this, the more likely you are to succeed in the long term. So that's really the thing that I really just cannot stress enough. You got to be willing to focus on providing value rather than just thinking about yourself and just trying to earn a quick buck online. So the more you focus on helping other people get what they want, the more you'll eventually get what you want in the long term. So always remember that for any business that you're going into, regardless of what you're promoting, always remember that the person who leads with the most value is the person that always gets more of what they want in the long term. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4 is you want to utilize tools to help you automate your business. Now, here's the main thing that I want to mention in this video. The entire purpose of building an online business should be to have more free time, right? I mean, that's really the main reason why a lot of people are coming online nowadays, and they're looking for, ways to build an online business, because they want to have more time to spend with their family. They want to have more time to, do the things that they enjoy doing, and not have to, constantly be on the computer all the time. The entire purpose of building a business should be to have more free time. And the best way to do that is to invest in tools that will allow you to automate a huge portion of your business. So, for example, if you're getting into affiliate marketing, the three tools that you would need if you are looking to sell, either someone else's products or maybe it's your own course that you're of course selling. The three things that you would need to have a sales funnel builder, an email autoresponder, and a tracking system. So a sales funnel builder allows you to build out sales funnels where you could focus on building a connection with people. You could capture leads. You could, if someone's interested in learning more about what you have to offer, they could enter their name and email to, of course, request access. And then you could introduce yourself. You could share your story. You could talk about how that, product that you're, of course, recommending has, of course, helped you. And then you could make that recommendation. And if someone doesn't exactly buy the product right away, which most of your potential customers won't, then you could, of course, follow up with them. And that is where the email autoresponder comes into play. So, for example, if you got 100 people that, of course, request more information from you, what you could do is you could then send out one email broadcast and it goes out to 100 people. You could, send them a video going over, some other thing that you, of course, learned from the product or program that you, of course, learning from. And then that way you could, of course, link them back to, the offer that you're recommending. And the more you get people back to your offer, the more likely they are to buy in the long term there. So that is tip number 4. And then also the other thing I forgot to mention is the tracking system. You want to, of course, know exactly where your sales are coming in. You want to know how you're getting your leads. If you aren't able to track the stuff, then you can't really scale up your results more in the long term there. So those are the three things that you of course need aside from quality mentorship. So sales funnel builder, tracking system, and email autoresponder. Without these three things, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get those long-term results online. And then tip number 5 is you want to have a daily method of operation. Now, what exactly is a daily method of operation? It is where you have a specific set of things planned out either on paper or it could be like on like an app that you use on your phone. The app that I personally use is called Todoist. It's spelled Todoist. So you could search that up either on Google Play or on your mobile app store. And that app pretty much allows you to, set, certain things that you want to do, get done that day. And then as you complete them, you just click the check, the check icon, and then it just marks it as complete there. And that is a great way to really ensure that you are, of course, getting everything done and, of course, making consistent progress. So, the average person who gets into this, who tries to start an online business, they don't focus on this, and I'd say it's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people are failing is because they don't have a clear set of actions that they're of course focusing on to really move them forward in their business. They're just kind of joining one program, they're taking a few action steps here and there, and then they're just hoping that magically they're just going to become rich fairly quickly. But this is a long-term thing. So you have to have a long-term mindset, and you have to be setting consistent goals for you to, of course, complete. And that's really the best way to ensure that you are always making progress. And the more progress you're making, the more progress you're making, on a consistent basis, the faster you are going to get to that goal that you're going for. So that's tip number 5. And then as a bonus, you want to fully believe in what it is that you're doing. If you don't fully believe in what you're going for, then you're going to find every reason to essentially give up early on. So you always want to make sure that regardless of what you decide to go in, you fully understand exactly what it takes to succeed. And the best way to, of course, understand what it takes is to invest in quality mentorship. So if you're learning from people who have the results that you're aiming for, then that's a great way to ensure that you are on the right path. So that's really the one thing that I want to mention. But you also want to believe that you could fully do it yourself. And if you could fully believe in yourself, then you are on the right path. So those are the 5 or 6 tips that I wanted to go over in this video. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give this a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And if you'd like to learn more about how to build a long-term profitable business online through affiliate marketing, then my number 1 link down below will give you access to a free training that will show you how to build an online business without having to have your own inventory, without having to deal with shipping and fulfillment, without having to deal with customer service, and allow you to earn from multiple sources of income. So if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely be sure to click that first link down below, and that'll take you to the free training right there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and take care.